Hi everyone, welcome to All Levels Yoga. So we are on day 2 of exploring the meaning of Brahmacharya, which is the 4th yama or ethical practice within the first of 8 limbs of yoga. So here's a little bit by spiritual teacher Sadhguru, who defines Brahmacharya. It's divided into Brahman, which means the divine or ultimate, and Charya, which means the path. So to become a Brahmachari means you are ecstatic or joyful by your own nature, not trying to extract joy from outside of yourself. Essentially, he says, this human mechanism, this is a certain energy system. You can keep it with many openings and transact with the world in a certain way, or you can make this into a closed circuit system so that it becomes very integrated. A rocket goes up because it is firing only on one side. Suppose it fires on all sides, like one who is seeking pleasure from all different directions outside of itself. Then the rocket is not going to go anywhere. It will just dissipate itself, or it will go somewhere without direction and fall apart. So when you have a closed circuit system, as Brahmacharya creates within the human being, it is a powerful instrument. It's focused, it's intentional. And like we said yesterday, the lifestyle of Brahmacharya is that of moderation of how you interact with the outside world, like what you allow to feed yourself with, not only food, but mind, external stimuli through all of your senses, knowing that affects the quality of your energy. So you experience freedom through your inner joy, through Brahmacharya, instead of being a slave to outside conditions. He calls that a bondage that comes from trying to source pleasure from external people or things. So as we continue exploring how we can integrate or benefit from the practice of Brahmacharya, you may want to close your eyes as you sit here now and just feel, what is your energy like in this moment? Does the mind feel at peace? Is the mind jumping around and feeling restless? And then perhaps ask yourself how the mind became that way. What have you stimulated it with? Have you been watching the news a lot? Have you been giving yourself some solitude, some meditation time? Is there a balance of interacting with the outside world and being with yourself and listening inward? And notice how the activity or the quality of energy in your mind shows up in your physical body. When we're constantly feeding our minds with exhausting tension, then the body gets tired too. And then notice how that affects the quality of your breathing as well. Let's use this hour of intentional physical movement, and not only physical alignment, but alignment with the joy within. As we slow things down, as we take deeper breaths, and we bring intention with focus, balancing that with moments of rest whenever you may need it. Let's place the left hand on the chest, the right hand on the lower belly as you begin Durga Pranayama, a 3-part breathing technique to just come more fully into the breath and relax the nervous system. So you can inhale through your nose and decide if you want to exhale through your nose or your mouth. That's up to you. Let's take a deep breath to clear out. Inhale. And let it go. Hold your breath at the bottom. And now just into your belly, inhale 1/3. Pause. Into the sides of your rib cage, inhale another third. Pause. Into the top of your chest, inhale the last third. Hold your breath in and relax your body, relax your face. Then slowly exhale everything. Holding your breath out, continue to relax and sit tall. Then again into your belly, inhale 1/3. Into your side ribs, inhale 1/3. Into your chest, inhale the last third. Hold your breath in, soften the shoulders, soften the jaw, then completely let the breath go. Hold it out. Into your belly, inhale 1/3. Pause. Into your side ribs, inhale 1/3. Pause. Into your chest, inhale the last third. Hold it in. Lengthen through the spine. And empty your breath all the way out. Hold it out. One more inhale, 1/3 into the belly. Pause. 1/3 into your side ribs. Pause. 1/3 into your chest. Hold it in. Soften the body. Completely empty your breath. Hold it out. Ease into a deep inhalation through belly, side ribs, chest without holding it in. When you arrive at the very top, ease the breath out just as slowly as the in-breath. Now consciously balancing the lengths of your inhalations with the lengths of your exhalations. And if you can, now just breathing through your nose so that we would cultivate warmth within the body as we're relaxing the nervous system in a breathing technique now called Ujjayi Pranayama, which means victorious breath. Softly constrict the back of your throat to invite a gentle whispering sound that you can tune into and help relax your mind, focus your mind with. You can use the sound of your breathing as a gauge to how you are balancing your exertion of effort with a sense of calm and ease. Knowing that if the breath begins to become choppy or violent, it's a good indication that it's time to slow the body down or even take moments of rest so that you're regulating your breath. Softly flutter your eyes open. And let's come on down to our backs. We did have a request for opening up the outer hips a bit more today. So let's begin by just warming up the hip joints. Take hold of your bent knees. Keep your pelvis on the floor, shoulders relaxed. Inhale, circle your thighs apart. Exhale them together. Trying that a few more times in this breath-led movement. Switch directions. Breathe in. Breathe out. A little more warming up into our hips, as well as our groins and our hamstrings. So here, point your toes, and then just bring your arms down by your sides, palms face down. Inhale, straighten your left leg up and forward, just to hover the heel off the ground. Exhale, switch right leg up and forward, just like you're riding a bike with huge pedals. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Let's switch, pedaling backwards. Inhale, exhale, inhale. Shoulders are relaxing on the ground. Skull is relaxing on the ground. Couple more breaths. Tailbone is relaxing on the ground. Belly is firming in. So we're also warming up the abdomen and other core muscles. And then from here, set your left foot down. Cross your right thigh as much as you can over your left thigh. Crisscross the legs. And then lift your feet to split them apart. Catch your outer feet with your hands. If that's not reachable, your outer shins. If that's not reachable, the backs of your thighs. And continue to weigh your pelvis onto the floor as you split your feet wider apart. And if your knees are feeling sensitive, you can gently flex your feet to stabilize your knees. Another 3 deep breaths here in supine cow face pose. Wonderful for opening the outer hips, glutes, outer thighs, and even creating some space across the lower back. Then keep the cross of your legs, set your feet on the ground, and scoot your pelvis about 3 more inches towards the right edge of your mat. Open your right arm wide onto the floor, grounding the shoulder. Pick up your feet and drop your thighs over to your left. Using your left palm, gently press away your outer right hip. So in that slight rotation forward, you're helping to traction space into your lower spine. Deep breath in. Whispering your breath out. Then rolling back to center, uncross your legs. Bring your pelvis to the midline of your mat. Then cross your left thigh as much as you can over your right thigh. Lift your feet to splay apart and either catch hold of your outer feet, shins, or backs of your thighs. Heavily ground your tailbone and shoulders as you continue to splay your feet wider apart. You might support your knees by gently flexing your feet. Now visualize your breath entering your belly, side ribs, top of your chest, and slowly exiting through your nostrils. Supta Gomukhasana, supine cow face pose. Now keep the shape, lower your feet, and slide your pelvis about 3 more inches towards the left edge of your mat. Open your left arm wide, grounding the shoulder. Slowly drop your thighs to your right side. With your right palm, press away gently your left outer hip, helping to traction and lengthen your lower spine. Feel your breath, balancing in with out. And as you roll back to center, pelvis towards the midline of your mat, separate your feet wider apart than hips distance on the ground. Then drop your knees together to touch. Now this is a gentle way of broadening your sacrum, stretching across your lower back. And as you do that, bend your elbows apart like the shape of a cactus, and we're going to open up the backs of the shoulders. Crossing your left elbow over your right elbow. Now here you could either give yourself a tight hug, splaying your shoulder blades wider apart, or you could hook your thumbs, or you could go a little further and wrap your forearms and palms. Now lengthening your neck, slide your shoulder blades down your back ribs. Lift your elbows to align with your shoulders as your forearms gently press towards the sky. Imagine breathing also into the area right between your shoulder blades. Softening that area as you breathe out. Take another deep breath as you slide your fingertips towards overhead, the rear wall. And exhale your elbows apart into that cactus shape. Cross your right elbow over the left. Either give yourself a tight hug, hook your thumbs, or wrap your forearms and palms. Again, walk each shoulder blade further down your back ribs. Draw your forearms towards the sky with elbows in line with your shoulders. Fill up your back ribs. Soften the space between your shoulder blades. Take another breath in as you raise your fingertips towards overhead. Exhale, bend your elbows apart and draw your bent knees together into your chest, gently rocking whether side to side or forward and back, several times to build some momentum to eventually land sitting up, torso upright. Once there, if you have a couple of blocks, go ahead and frame the top of your mat with them. Let's come down to hands and knees, all fours, to begin the practice of cat-cow pose. As your wrists land just beneath your shoulders, spread your fingers very wide and flat, pointing each index finger forward so they parallel each other. Set your knees a couple inches behind your hips, and as you inhale, draw your heart through your upper arms before rolling your shoulders behind you and looking up. Cow pose. As you exhale, hollow your belly to lift towards your back body as you drop your skull to round in cat pose. Again, draw your chest forward as you breathe in, broadening it up towards the sky. Hollow your belly as you breathe out, tucking your tailbone underneath as you bend. Take about 3 more slow cycles of Vidalasana, cat-cow pose. This is such a wonderful posture. It's so simple, yet so effective in helping to warm up the joints and muscles throughout your spine, surrounding your spine. I love to do this when I get out of bed in the morning or just before I step off of bed. Knowing that the 7 main energy centers trace the spine, you're waking up that sense of flow inside. So with your palms really flat, tuck your toes behind you, separate your feet hips width apart, and with very bent knees, lift your hips as high as you can towards your rear wall, as if you're trying to create the feeling of a flat back. Softly move your skull and loosen your neck as you begin to pedal your feet slowly in place. Pressing one heel down, lengthening the back of the leg, hamstring, calf. You might even feel it at the attachment of the hamstring at the glute. Let your hands feel as if you're trying to push the mat forward and away from your feet. So that sense of rooting down uplifts an energy up your arms, drawing your shoulder blades stably onto your back ribs away from your neck. Then broaden across your shoulders by rotating your triceps, your outer upper arms towards the floor. Feel free to bend your knees any amount, especially in the beginning as we're warming up, to really feel the highest lift of your tailbone as you're shifting your weight down the backs of your legs, down to your heels, whether or not the heels touch the floor. As you firm your belly towards your back, press the front creases of your hips further back. And steady your gaze on the ground towards your feet. Let's take another 3 breaths here in Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Inhale, raise your right leg behind you. And as you exhale, turn open your right thigh at the hip, bending the knee towards your right wall or ceiling. Inhale, tack your left outer hip further back. And then exhale, set your right foot down midway up your mat onto the right edge of your mat. So midway towards your feet. And then from here, pivot both of your feet to face your right wall and lean onto the pinky toe edges of both feet flexed. Set your left palm on the floor firmly so that your wrist is directly under the shoulder. Sweep your right arm overhead and towards your rear wall, sinking your left hip to tap the ground. Draw the left shoulder blade down your back. Press the floor away with your 3 limbs and inhale, lift your left hip. Rainbow or arc your right arm forward towards the front wall. And exhale, sink the left hip again. Point your right fingertips towards your rear wall. 2 more. Inhale, lift. Sweep the right arm towards the front. Exhale, sink. Right hand towards the rear. Inhale, up and forward. Exhale, down and back. We're also warming up the obliques here if you can feel the muscles in the sides of your torso. Reach the right hand forward into the ground, lower your left knee, and slide your right foot forward just to the outside of your right hand, coming into lizard lunge. We're going to add another flow here, but first make sure that your palms are at the height that you need to relax your shoulders down. So if you need, you can place blocks at whatever height necessary as platforms for your hands to be on. Make sure that you're bending your right knee only directly above your right heel and not in front of the heel. Directing your right toes and knee to face forward, take a deep breath and gaze towards your front wall. As you exhale, begin to draw your right outer hip further back towards straightening your right leg as you curl up the toes flexed and draw your chest forward, bowing inside of your right leg, a wide half split. Inhale, rebend your right knee, gazing towards your front wall, back to lizard lunge. Exhale, gently pull your right outer hip back towards straightening the front leg and fold. One more time, inhale, bend the front knee just over the heel. Heart space broadens forward. Exhale, right hip back, flex the foot as you raise the toes, fold in. Inhale, rebend the right knee, scoot the right foot directly between your palms, front and center on your mat, and straighten your left leg, spinning the heel flat for Warrior 2. Align your right heel to intersect the arch of your left foot, then windmill your arms apart to rise up. Now notice how your left toes are slightly facing your front wall. You're rotating the leg from your hip socket. Straighten that left leg completely and bend your front knee right over the heel. And let's start to flow with arms wide open to start, shoulders relaxed. Firm your lower abdomen. Inhale, straighten both legs by pressing the feet into the ground and raise your arms. Lift to your crown. Exhale, rebend the right knee just over the heel and reopen your arms, Warrior 2. Twice more. Inhale, root down to rise. Get a little longer through your spine. Exhale, down to Warrior 2. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, Warrior 2. Now, keep your right knee bent, keep your legs in Warrior 2. Flip your right palm to face up. You're rotating from the shoulder joint here. Lift your spine as you sink your pelvis. Then sideways, bend towards your rear wall so the left arm may wrap around to your lower back or catch hold of the top of your right thigh as you sweep your right arm towards the rear wall, lengthening your right side body. Now make sure your front knee is bending forward. It's not buckling into the left. Then inhale, rise back to warrior two. The legs are still in warrior two. Reach your right hand towards your front wall as you sweep your pelvis towards your rear wall. Lower your right forearm to gently push off of your right thigh. Rotate your left palm to face the sky and reach your left arm towards your front wall as you spiral your chest towards the sky. Extended side angle pose. Now let's set the flow. Inhale up to warrior two. Exhale, reverse to peaceful warrior. Left arm behind you. Inhale up to warrior two. Front knee stays bent. Exhale, right forearm to thigh. Extended side angle. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, reverse to peaceful warrior. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, reach forward, side angle. From here, inhale to warrior two. Straighten your right leg. Slide your feet 2 to 3 inches closer together, but keep their alignments. And slide your pelvis towards your rear wall for triangle. Reaching your right hand towards your front wall as far as you can before lowering that hand onto your shin. Or just to the right of your shin, maybe on a block. Pressing arm and leg against each other. As you reach your left arm towards the sky, firm the muscles in your side waist, the fronts of your thighs, and feel grounding energy through your legs, so much that you could lift a finger or more of your right hand. Breathe in, lengthen your spine from the pelvis, crown of your head towards front wall. Breathe out, firm your belly and spiral your chest towards the sky. Last 3 breaths in Utthita Trikonasana. Sweep your left arm overhead and look down at your right foot. Exhale into plank pose. We're going to pause for 3 breaths in your version of plank. Whether your legs are straight or your knees are on the ground, gaze about a foot ahead of your hands on the floor. Broaden your chest. Slide the shoulder blades onto your back ribs. Lift your navel. Slowly glide forward about a foot ahead of your wrists. Bending your elbows close to your spine. Lengthen your neck, firm your belly as you lower through Chaturanga Dandasana to the ground. With your wrists alongside your floating ribs, ground the tops of your feet as you point your toes and parallel your feet. Coil your chest up as you breathe in, drawing your heart forward and sliding your shoulders down, Cobra, Bhujangasana. Tucking your toes, engage your belly and exhale through plank. Lifting your tailbone as high as you can, draw your weight back, downward facing dog. Slowing the breath down again for 3 cycles. Feel stability through your fingers spread and inhale, raise your left leg. Exhale, bend your left knee, rotate the thigh open at the hip. Inhale, tack your right outer hip further back. As you exhale, softly land your left foot on the left edge of your mat, midway towards your hands. Pivot both feet to face your left wall. And as you flex both feet, lean onto the pinky toe edges of each. Stacking right shoulder directly above right wrist, press the ground away and raise your left arm towards the sky. Begin to tap the floor with your right hip, reaching your left arm towards your rear wall. Inhale, press down through your 3 limbs and lift your right hip, sweeping your left arm towards your front wall. Exhale, sink your right hip and reach the left hand towards the rear. 2 more. Inhale, up and forward. Exhale, down and back. Inhale, up and forward. Keep your right shoulder stably in its socket. Draw the shoulder blade down your back. Exhale, down and back. Last time, inhale up and forward. Exhale down and back. Some oblique strengthening here as well. Then circle your left hand to the top of your mat and lower your right knee. Slide your left foot forward to the outside of your left hand, entering lizard lunge. Now, notice how your shoulders feel here. If they're asking for your palms to be propped up on blocks, go ahead and take that. Make sure your front knee's right on top of the heel, toes and left knee facing forward. And as you take a deep breath, look straight ahead towards your front wall and broaden your chest forward. Exhaling, draw your left outer hip back, straightening the left leg as you curl up your flexed toes and bow forward, drawing your chest forward. Inhale, rebend your left knee just over the heel, lizard lunge. Exhale, softly pull your left outer hip back, half split, fold. Inhale, chest forward, lizard lunge. Keep lengthening the chest forward as you exhale to half split. Then inhale to your lunge and set your left foot direct between your hands, front and center of your mat. Spin your right heel down as you straighten your back leg, aligning heel to arch. From down through your soles and cartwheel your arms to rise up for Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Feel as you're rotating your right thigh inward, your back toes slightly face the front of your mat, and you're rooting down the outer edge of your right heel firmly so you're not collapsing the arch of the foot, the inner arch. Front knee is bent just over the ankle to start. Open your arms wide and relax your shoulders. As you press down through both feet, inhale, straighten your left leg, lift your arms without lifting your shoulders. Exhale, rebend your left knee and open your arms. Inhale, root down and rise a little taller. Exhale, lower into Warrior 2. One more time, inhale, lift up. Keep the length of your spine and exhale, Warrior 2. Now keep your left knee bent, stay firm through both soles, flip your left palm to face up. As your pelvis sinks, maybe a little lower, lift your spine from it. And inhale, reverse, lean the left arm and spine towards your rear wall, wrapping your right arm onto your lower back or to catch hold of the top of your left thigh so that you're also opening the inner shoulder. Peaceful warrior. On your next inhale, come back to Warrior 2. Slide your pelvis sideways towards your rear wall. Reach your left arm forward to land the forearm onto your left thigh to push off of, not to collapse into. Reaching your right arm overhead towards your front wall, wrap the tricep to face your right wall as you spin your chest towards the sky. Extended side angle pose. Now let's flow. Keep your legs just like Warrior 2 and inhale, rise, arms wide open. Exhale, flip the left palm back, right arm behind you, peaceful warrior. Inhale, Warrior 2. Exhale, left forearm to thigh, right arm forward, extended side angle. Inhale, Warrior 2. Exhale, peaceful warrior. Inhale, Warrior 2. Exhale, extended side angle. Last cycle here. Inhale, Warrior 2. Exhale, peaceful warrior. Inhale, Warrior 2. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, rise to Warrior 2 and straighten your legs. Possibly shorten your stance a few inches for triangle pose. Glide your pelvis sideways towards your rear wall, reaching your left hand beyond your left knee before lowering it onto your shin, or just to the left of it, maybe on a block. As you wrap your left outer hip under, spiral your chest towards the sky. Feel the length across both arms, stacking both wrists, and see if you can lighten the weight of your left hand. Breathe in. Breathe out. 3 more cycles in Uttita Trikonasana. Sweep your right arm overhead, look down at your left foot, and exhale down to plank pose. To pause again, 3 breaths. Shoulders directly over wrists, spread your fingers and rebound your weight off to your hands. Gaze a foot of your hands and draw your shoulders back, lift your navel. On a slow exhalation, glide a foot forward before hugging your elbows toward side ribs to lower. Either all the way down for Cobra or flipping your toes in Chaturanga into upward facing dog. With an exhale, lift your hips high and draw your sitting bones back to downward facing. 3 deep breaths.
Om Namaste Gurave Sachitananda Murtha.
Take a look at the space between your palms. Step your left foot there and pivot your 2 feet to face the wide width of your mat in a wide-legged forward fold. Prasarita Padottanasana. Here, clasp your big toes with your index fingers and middle fingers, your peace fingers. If you're unable to reach them, you could bring your feet a little closer together. You could bend your knees more. So make those adjustments as needed. And as you pull onto your big toes, shift your weight towards the balls of your feet. And inhale, draw your chest forward, firming your belly in towards a flat back. Keep lengthening your spine and exhale, hinge even more from your hips, lowering the top of your head, shoulders rising away from the neck. Twice more. Inhale, lengthen your chest forward. Align your ankles with your hips. Exhale, pull your big toes, bending your elbows apart if you're able, and bow forward. One more. Inhale, lift halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, bow in, Prasarita Padottanasana. Now let's stay another 3 breaths. So as you're shifting your weight forward, lift your kneecaps, not to be confused with locking your knees. It just means to engage or enliven your quadriceps, front muscles of your thighs. Feel your sitting bones tilt up as the crown of your head lowers. One more deep breath. Walk your hands forward as you rise halfway. Planting your left hand in center just beneath your heart. Keep the height of your 2 hips leveled. Right arm towards the sky as I'm mirroring you. Inhale, stretch the crown of your head forward, spine parallel to the floor. Now at your waistline, exhale, twist to your right, opening your chest towards your front wall. Shoulder blades gliding down the back, outer hips firming towards your midline. Continue to twist. Now, wide across your chest and arms, take one more deep breath. Exhale to switch hands. With the left arm towards the sky, inhale, crown of your head forward. Outer hips firming the midline twist at your waistline. And continue on with each breath. Wide across your chest, arms and fingertips. Take another deep inhale. And exhale, both hands down. Bend your knees, bring your hands to your hips. Actually, while we're down here, please do grab your blocks because you may need them in a moment. So go ahead and place your blocks on their tallest height behind your heels. And then bend your knees. Bring your hands to your hips, point your elbows towards the sky, and inhale, lead with your chest to slowly rise. So So we practice triangle pose, we practice warrior two. Let's integrate some flow as we play with our balance further. Turning your left leg out to face the rear of your mat as I'm mirroring you. Turn your right leg in. Align left heel to arch your right foot and come into warrior two. From warrior two, flip your left palm to face up and reverse into peaceful warrior. Now just land your right hand onto your right leg lightly this time. Inhale back to warrior two. Now right hand to right hip, take the block with you and walk the block 6 inches forward of your left pinky toe to the left. Drag your right foot forward, flex your right foot and lift the heel to the height of your hip, opening your chest towards the wide width of your mat. Stacking right shoulder over left wrist. Maybe lifting right arm, half moon pose. So this is the sequence of our little flow. Inhale, bend the left knee, step back to warrior two. Leave the block there. Exhale, reverse to peaceful warrior. Inhale, back to warrior two. Exhale, shift forward into half moon. Twice more. Inhale, step back softly into warrior two. Exhale, reverse, peaceful warrior. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, shift forward, half moon. Last round. Inhale, softly land, warrior two. Exhale, reverse it, peaceful warrior. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, half moon. Pause in half moon. Give yourself a few more breaths here to take flight. In Sanskrit, the name of this pose is Ardha Chandrasana. And when you're ready, softly land warrior two. Once there, straighten both legs and parallel your feet. Let's turn out the right leg 90 degrees, turn in the left leg 45, and align right heel to arch of left foot, entering warrior two. From warrior two, flip your right palm to face up, reverse into peaceful warrior, landing your left hand lightly onto your left leg. Inhale, rise to warrior two. Now bring your left hand to your left hip. Take the block with your right hand and place it 6 inches forward of your right pinky toe out to the right. Drag your left foot forward, flex your left foot and lift the heel to the height of your hip, turning your chest completely open and stacking left shoulder over right wrist. Maybe raising your left arm towards the sky. Half moon pose. Let's flow. Inhale, bend your right knee and softly step into warrior two. Exhale, flip your right palm and reverse into peaceful warrior. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, shift forward to lift into half moon. Inhale, bend the right knee, gently land warrior two. Exhale, reverse, peaceful warrior. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, shift forward to half moon. Last round. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, peaceful warrior. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, half moon. Now let's stay in half moon pose, also called Ardha Chandrasana. Feel expansion through all of your limbs and through both ends of your spine. Breathe in, breathe out. When you're ready, take your time landing back to warrior two. And once there, step your 2 feet to arrive at the top of your mat. Inhale, circle your arms overhead. Coiling your chest up, whether you cactus bend the elbows or seal the palms. Exhale, bow forward, perhaps with a bend in your knees. Inhale, press with your fingertips, lift your heart forward, lengthen. Step back into plank and very slowly take more than an exhale to lower through Chaturanga and all the way to the ground. Resting your right ear onto the earth, slide your right arm open to the right side, palm face down. Begin to press the floor away with your left palm and gently roll over onto your right hip. And as you lean into your inner right shoulder, pause and scoot your right shoulder blade further down your back, allowing space in your neck. And then you might explore a little more lean by stepping the left foot behind you, listening to the sensations of your body guide you to the amount of intensity. Feel full breaths, balancing inhale with exhale. One more deep breath here. Then slowly roll onto your belly. Place your right hand flat on the ground beside your right shoulder and turn your left ear to rest on the floor. Slide your left arm wide, palm facing the ground. Press the ground away with the right hand and begin to roll over gently onto your left side. Pause and melt your left shoulder blade further down your back. And tune into the side of your shoulders, the amount of intensity it needs to open the inside. Perhaps stepping the right foot behind you. Welcome your breath into your belly, side ribs and chest. And ease it out slowly through the back of your throat and out to your nostrils. One more breath in. Then exhale onto your belly, sliding into child's pose as you extend both arms forward, actively stretching your back. Each exhale, sink your pelvis towards your heels. Melt your heart towards the earth. Walk your hands towards your outer knees and tuck your chin towards your chest, breathing in slowly to roll your spine upright. So choose your inversion. Take a block or two and come into supported shoulder stand. Use a wall if you have one to lean your legs up against. Perhaps you put a block under your sacrum there too. Or regular shoulder stand if you know how to practice that safely. I'm going to come into supported shoulder stand. If you feel like doing that with me, come onto your back. Bend your knees and lift your pelvis. Slide a block or two across your sacrum. Then lift your legs straight up. Adjust the block if needed. You may need to slide them a little higher towards your rib cage to fully support your pelvis and lower back. Now you may want to rest your palms onto your belly here. That can feel soothing, nurturing, grounding. Let your shoulders release away from your neck as you tilt your chin slightly back, allowing the breath to easily flow through your throat and all of your torso. Give yourself at least 5 more deep exhalations. You might even focus on breathing into your abdomen a little deeper. Belly breaths, wonderful way to cool down with. While offering deep relaxation to enable effective digestion. With your legs up in the air, helping to relax your feet, your legs, giving them some gratitude for all they've allowed you to play with in this practice. So as you're winding down towards Shavasana and even into Shavasana, I invite you to be reflective about the effects of what you've chosen throughout this practice. The way you've chosen to move your body, or the way you've chosen to rest, how your breath work and the way you've been breathing affects the way you feel, not only physically, but most importantly, energetically. And as you're ready, begin to lower your entire body onto the ground, finding a position that truly feels like rest for your whole being, to be still and observant, even letting go of controlling your breath. Continuing a deeper cultivation of self-awareness as we lie in stillness. Even notice the effects on your mind, remembering that the Yoga Sutras define yoga as the calming of the fluctuations of the mind. How has your yoga practice played a role in that? Now, if you'd like to join me to sit silently for 5 minutes of meditation, begin to move your body very gently, perhaps keeping your eyes closed as you gradually make your way up to sit. And a suggestion for your meditation is to continue observing how your practice in the last hour has affected your energetic state. I'm going to set the timer now for 5 minutes. Bring your awareness back to your body. And gently bring your palms together at your heart. So taking your yoga practice off the mat and integration with daily living. By being mindful of what you choose to feed yourself, your senses, and how that affects your energetic state. Brahmacharya. Let's close with one Om. Take a deep breath. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste.